afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Allen. I'm the European Communications Manager at 505 Games. I'd like to welcome you to IL-2 Sturmovik Birds of Prey. Just before we start, I just want to say thank you all for watching, and hopefully you'll be able to join us on Twitter, www.twitter.com/IL2 Birds of Prey. We're going to be doing a live Q&A session through Twitter at the end of the presentation, just after about 1 o'clock time. If you want to join us for that, we'll be here with some of the guys from the dev team to answer any questions you might have on the demo, or what you've seen, or anything that's been on your mind while you've been watching the demo. You can ask us questions. It's hashtag IL2 live demo at IL2 Birds of Prey. So hopefully get to see you there. So today, what I want to do is just really go through some of the campaigns and some of the background information to IL-2. Some of you may have already played the PC version from a while ago. This is obviously the first time that IL-2's come out on console. So I'm going to take you through. I'm going to be talking and playing at the same time. So bear with me, everybody, if things go a little bit quiet. So, okay, IL-2 Birds of Prey. The original game came out on PC a few years ago, and obviously has had a really big success across the PC fan base. Quite a hardcore simulator game. You could use your flight sticks and yokes and set it up and reconfigure. So one of the biggest challenges that we had when we decided to bring IL-2 over to consoles was how we keep that fan base and keep true to the IL-2 roots, but also make it accessible for everybody else to play as well. And you know, playing on a console, you're playing on the pad. The game does support flight sticks as well, which we'll go into a bit later on. But the main thing we wanted to do was make it as accessible for everybody to play. So arcade fans, people who like the original, people that maybe aren't very good at flight combat games. So what Gaijin have done is created a very cool scalable gameplay system. So what you can do with this game is you can play it according to however your skill level or your experience of playing these games. So at the first level, we've got arcade, which is what I'm going to be showing you today. Arcade mode is a great way to start and to learn how to fly the plane. So arcade mode gives you jump straight into the action. You've got really good arcade controls with the pad. You've also got auto correction for the flight controls. You've got auto correction and auto firing functions. So you have to be aiming at the right area, but you've got a lot more spread with the bullets. You've got unlimited fuel, unlimited ammunition, etc., which is, you know, it's a really good way of jumping straight into the action. 3 views for the most part. You've got a cockpit view with all the controls, which is a kind of first-person cockpit view. You've got a virtual cockpit view, which I'll show you, which is another first-person view, but without the cockpit environment. Then you've got a third-person view. And if you're flying a bomber or anything with a secondary gunning placement, you can go into a fourth view, which gives you some gunning view action as well. So you can actually control the rear gunners or the lower gunners. So that's the arcade mode. Now, people who just want to jump in and get the arcade action, that's the best mode for them to start off on. As you progress through and your skill levels get a bit better, you can actually jump straight into realistic, and realistic's a second mode. Realistic turns off some of those auto correction functions. So while you've still got the same control mechanisms, you've still got the same views, what you can do in realistic is jump a little bit more into the real handling of the planes. So some of the on-screen controls and on-screen HUDs are removed, so you've got a much more realistic view of what's happening in the combat zone. You've also got the auto correction for the flying is turned off. Some of the auto correction for the firing is turned off, so you've got to be much more precise on where you're actually laying your bullets and where you're actually laying the shots through to make sure you're aiming at the engines and the fuel tanks, etc. And then we go from there right on to, which is a bit more giving a nod to the simulator world out there. We've got simulation mode, and simulation mode is your full-on simulator version. You've got one view only, which is a cockpit view. You've got no HUD system, no radar system, no deflection system, which tells you how far the planes are away from you, what speed they're doing and what model planes. You've got nothing on the screen apart from the cockpit controls and your enemies, so it's literally you have to fight and fly by whatever you see on the screen. So really is just an absolute, as realistic as it gets, let's put it that way. I'll show you a little bit of simulator at the end, but what I'm going to do now is just jump straight into arcade mode. So IL-2 Sturmovik Birds of Prey. This is an Xbox 360 demo. Obviously the game's coming out on PS3 as well. We've